Okay, I'm going to try to show you how to paint a hydrangea. And you know, hydrangeas have little petals, and they're actually kind of four petals to a thing. But we're not going to get that detailed in most of it. We're going to, I mixed up some blue and kind of diluted it over here. And then I have some that's non-diluted, and then I added just a tiny touch of red to this to make it a slightly purple color. And then I have some green over here, ready for the greenery. So well, let's go. So I'm going to start off with my lightest color, always. So I'm going to dilute that pretty good, and I'm going to make some little circles. And they're actually, a lot of their little circles are, their petals are kind of shaped like a cross. So you can do that if you want to. It's a little more water than I wanted on there. So I'm going to sop up some of that. I'm going to still a little bit darker than I wanted. I was really wanted a really light color. I didn't dilute it quite enough, probably. So I'm gonna just roll the edge of my brush on this paper towel to kind of get some of that off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit, just a slightly darker. Again, I don't want it real wet, so I'm going to and a little darker still. I'm not trying to fill every space, but I'm making kind of blotchy, big blotches of with X's. So it's not a real defined X. I might load back in, tip back in a little bit of color here and there. And I want it a little bit darker around some edges so that the lightest part is up at the top here. I'm even going to get a little bit more that's a little bit less diluted. And tip in here. All my hydrangeas in my house are pink, and I really have always wanted some blue ones that are this pretty periwinkle blue. But try not to keep it too controlled into this tight little ball, but it's hard. Okay. All right. I'll stop for a minute, let it dry for just a second, then see about making some leaves coming out from here. So I'm going to do the tip of the leaf that you're going to see. made my hydrangea huge, so there's not much room on my paper for it, but trying to use kind of that same where you lay it down and then lift up. Okay. So there you have hydrangea. That's a little bit. I might add just a few more light things up here, just to keep it looking quite so square, because I end up with a really square picture for some reason. Now that it's dried a little bit more, I can add a little bit more of this darker color down here to kind of give it a little bit more depth. Again, not being real super precise with it, I'm kind of bouncing it in. Okay, I think that's pretty good. There's a hydrangea.